I have this other question that always comes up, and it's coming up with people who have lived here for a while, whether they're having families or not, that the Bay Area is too expensive. So one particular question that I get a lot is, you know, I'm having my second baby and I'm already paying so much for a nanny. I love my career, but it's not even worth it to pay a nanny so much money while I'm just going to work away from my kids. So what advice would you give to that person?
Okay. So for the person who is a working mom, the research shows that it's better, even if you pay as much. So if a nanny costs you $30K, let's just say, right? Even if your job is paying you $30K, if you're the kind of ambitious woman who wants to someday, like, even have that job forever or climb, you should keep the job. Breaking even, because what it does, when you break even, you're just breaking even in those years, but your career potential is still going up, because what you're gaining is not necessarily dollars that year, but it is experience, it is contacts, you're building your network, your resume doesn't have a jump in it. I mean, there's ways to get past all these jumps in your resume too, but if you're truly the ambitious woman who wants to just keep on going, then your salary is way higher later. That's where you see these rewards. So if it's, you get in 30 and you give away 30 in 1 year now, that it's worth it, because later your salary is so much more than if you totally took off your years. Yeah, and that's an important thing. The other side of this coin is, like, a lot of people say, oh, it's not even worth it, but they're making, for example, like, even 60K. If you're making 60K and your nanny is 30K, you may feel like, oh my God, I'm giving half of my money to my nanny. Right? Which is not, I mean, sure, people definitely have feelings about that. Yeah. But it is worth it in the sense of staying on your career trajectory and continuing to soak up that knowledge and be at the forefront of whatever field you're in. Yeah.
And on the flip side of that, if you don't want to be a person that goes back to your corporate career, choose that. Like, you win whatever one you choose. Just don't be swayed by other opinions that you have. Just listen to what you really want to do and what feels best for you.
Right. Oh yeah, we were talking about this before. Don't blame it on the nanny cost. Right. Embody your choice fully. Right. Say whatever your truth is. Like, I actually was sick of that shitty job in the middle of bro culture, and I'm enjoying being a parent, and I'm going to see what happens later. Like, rock that choice hard, because otherwise you're choosing a disempowering position. Like, you're saying, I wish I could, but the nanny, like, fucking own it.
Exactly. Yes. And if you say your circumstance and you say it with confidence and what you're actually doing, like, that's where you're calling in more opportunities. So, like, I left my corporate nonprofit job to pursue starting my own empire and also spending time with my toddler. And I love spending 3 days at home with her, and then she goes to the nanny or whatever, and then we get to spend the weekends as a family. And then in the evenings, and in my 50-50 equality relationship, I still get a lot of time to do the work, and I prefer to do it that way. And we could call in more childcare if I wanted, but I like to keep my schedule pretty light anyways, because that's the kind of life that I want, and that's the kind of life that I called for. But if I had wanted to stick to the corporate career, I would have known that the benefits really were wonderful also.
Yeah, and if you're trying to go back after maternity leave, the number one thing to do before and after is to make sure that everyone around you is familiar with your career goals. So don't let anyone put you on a mommy track if you don't want to be on a mommy track. If you want to be on one, get the coolest race car and drive her right down the mommy. I don't care which one you pick, but if you don't want to be mommy tracked off when you want to do ambitious woman, you're supposed to tell everyone around you. My goal is to be the CFO. My goal is to be the president of this company. My goal is to lead this nonprofit.
That's basically what happened to me. I came back and I made my ambitious goals very clear, and I got handed huge projects, and eventually I got handed a huge title, and the moment I was handed the huge title is when I made that decision that I didn't want to do that. And it had never been more clear, but I had to try it, and I had to take Emily's advice, which she had been giving me all along anyways, so I had to give it a try, and then I realized it wasn't for me.
Okay, that's perfect.